right now, so it's May. Pecans are pollinating, so they're just now forming, and then they'll grow throughout the summer. Harvest starts usually, depending on the variety. Now there's some that start in late September through October. Harvest is during the fall. They're gathered, various ways, but the way most people do it is a tree is, you got a shaker and it shakes the tree. They're swept into rows. A harvester goes over and harvests the pecans. They're brought in various ways. We bring ours in peanut wagons to a cleaning plant. Then they're run through a cleaning plant to get the sticks, stones, whatever out of them. From there, they go through a shelling plant where the shells, inner wall, and all of that is removed from them. They go through various sorting, so different sizes, different grades, and then they go across picking tables into boxes where they are then taken in bulk to various areas. Here, they're taken to our packing room where we break them down into our different boxes, gift tins, things like that, and then we put them on a UPS truck and send them out to our customers. Yeah, so Sunnyland has been kind of not an institution, but we've been in Albany for 73-ish years of our 75 years. So we started in Atlanta, but and as the company grew, we've been able to provide more jobs, which is something we really pride ourselves on. We also, try to make sure we're giving back to the community. So where we live is, just like any other organization, we're trying to make sure that not only are we providing jobs, not only are we, turning a profit, but we're also trying to make sure we give back to the community in various ways. And we have different organizations that we partner with throughout the year. Some, for the whole length of time, some, here and there. But yeah, we try to just, wherever there's a need, if we can help fill it, we try to do what we can, the small part that we can help play in the greater community that is Southwest Georgia. I think for any organization, employees are obviously the most critical thing you have, right? It's your human capital. It is what allows you to do what you do. And I think most of our employees would say that the people are out here have a vested interest in the company, because as a company, we try to make sure we have a vested interest in them, both here, but also outside of their job as well.
I would say Sunnyland's commitment is to its people, 100%. Always has been, always will be. Alex's grandparents, when they moved here, that was one of the number one things that they said. They wanted to give back to their community. They wanted to put down roots, and they did that through the farm. I think the biggest example of their passion towards community is displayed in our employee tenure. Most people at Sunnyland have worked here 15 years plus. Tomorrow on our family day, you'll see people that have been here for 43 years. And sometimes multiple generations. Sometimes you'll see a mother and a daughter. And it's because we are so family oriented, and we believe in people, and we believe in promoting from within. But that really started with Alex's grandmother. She believed in people. She wanted to train people. She just was passionate about bringing people in and creating a family and a team that could work together for a lifetime.
Yeah, Thanksgiving morning, I guess that was November 24th of 2022, I wake up and I've got a text on my phone that says there's been a fire at the plant in our kitchen. And so we are, at the time, adding on to our kitchen. So I think, maybe they hit a gas line, small fire, nothing big. I'll go out there, check out, see what happens. So, get dressed, stop and get some gas on the way, come back out here, meet the security guard. He was the only person out here because it was Thanksgiving Day. He says, yes, there was a fire, let me take you around. So we're kind of chatting, just everything's normal. Get to the kitchen, start smelling things that smell like burning electrical wires and things like that. And I open the door, everything is completely covered in ash. It is soaking wet, where obviously the fire department has sprayed hundreds, if not thousands of gallons of water on all of our equipment, everything. We had pre-staged a bunch of cakes that we were ready to pack. They were in bulk, so we had like 3 or 4 pallets of cakes that were ready to be packed and sent out the door on UPS trucks the next day. Those were all covered in soot and destroyed. And so yeah, our entire kitchen became pretty much non-functional for the rest of the fall. And so we had to scramble, which was really chaotic, especially during the busiest 4 weeks of our entire year.
People, oh gosh, it's still so emotional. But we saw just people spring into action. We saw teams just organize themselves where we didn't even have to get involved. We saw people pulling equipment out of the ashes just to see if we could save anything, just really stepping up to the plate and comforting us when we're like, you don't have to, we want to comfort you, but just the team-oriented environment, it was on full display. We were all devastated, we were all scared because it was Thanksgiving, but I've never been more proud of our company in that moment because the teamwork came about.
It kind of showed us what we were capable of in a good way, and it was one of those times where, you hear it a lot of times, like tragedy kind of brings the community together. I think being flexible has been my biggest thing. I'm pretty flexible in my personal life, but when I come to work, I like, this is what I do, this is what I do. For better or worse, between like Hurricane Michael, then COVID, then a kitchen fire, there's a lot of creativity, there's a lot of, this isn't what we planned at all. Let's go ahead and go to plan B or C or D and kind of be able to do that while also maintaining a kind of a calm demeanor. People who report to you feed off of you. And one thing we talk about in our manager meetings constantly is that it's okay to freak out. Like when things are going bad, it's okay to freak out. We've got a 1,700 acre pecan grove that if you need to go freak out, take a little walk, freak out, then come back in and it's time to lead, right? So when we're inside the gate, people are feeding off your energy. And so you've got to go ahead, level-headed, make a tough call, and don't get bogged down with overanalyzing. So for better or worse, some of these crises have kind of shaped as probably my leadership style. But I think it's helped me become more flexible and able to react quicker and better when certain situations present themselves. What's different from us is we have kind of a couple of different areas. We have an office, which has maybe more of a traditional or easier to be flexible. You have a laptop, have internet, can work, right? But then a large portion of what we do is actually manufacturing, right? And if you need 10 people to run a production line, you need 10 people to run a production line. And so, if 2 of them have a kids play at 9 and 1 of them has kids play at 10, that makes scheduling very difficult. So what we've tried to do is talk to our managers in our managers meeting, say, hey, well, what's going to give you guys some kind of thought that I'm getting some time back, right? We work a lot in the fall, and so how do we give you some time back with your families the rest of the year? In COVID, what we started talking about is, why don't we just do summer hours? A lot of offices do summer hours. We can do 36 hours a week, and we were just going to pay for 40. But they didn't like that. They were very nervous about the production and things like that. So we just started working half an hour early and half an hour late for the first 4 days. So you get an extra hour and get done at noon. Everybody was happy. And so we said, cool. And then, after that, we said, well, what about if we just make it 4 10s? On the farm, a lot of times we'd work 10-hour shifts if you have to, whatever. And so we said, let's try that. And we'll kind of just pilot it and see what happens for a month. And if people like it, we'll do it. And if people hate it, they don't. So everybody gets a 3-day weekend every single week for about 4 to 5 months out of the year. And we started that in 2022. It was hugely successful. It's kind of just a way that people get to stretch their time. They can go on long weekend vacations without having to burn PTO. So it just really gives a lot more flexibility for our employees, and it's something that they've really, really liked. I mean, a lot of fads catch on, you know what I mean? No, I mean, I don't. It may be a fad, right? And it may be something that the millennials or Gen Z care about, right? And that's just something that people are checking a box. It's also probably the right thing to do too, right? I mean, we're not trying to hook up our new kitchen with solar panels because, I can put it on our marketing. It's because, it's a little more sustainable for the environment. There's already a lot of people in the world, and, we're just trying to do our little part and see what we can do and maybe leave it a little better than we found it. I don't really think it's a fad. I feel like, if you're not doing it, it's going to be tougher for you to get employees, because I think a lot of employees aren't so interested in, pay. Everybody wants to make money, but everybody also wants to feel part of something, right? That's the biggest issue that we've seen. It's like, hey, if people don't buy into what you're doing, it doesn't matter what you pay them. They need to feel like they're part of something. And so, when you're doing that, your consumers can see that, and so I don't think it's going to be a fad. I think it's going to be here to stay. To all of our Sunnyland employees, we want to say thank you. We can't do what we do without you guys, obviously. We have a very high level overview of what we do at a management level, but we have so many people who are experts in their fields, whether it's cracking pecans, baking rum cakes, getting boxes out the door as fast and efficiently as possible. Thank you guys for everything you do. We obviously couldn't do this without you guys.